Hello and welcome to Market Lab with Raja. I am Raja Venkatraman, co-founder of NeoTrader and also your trading influencer. I've been in the market for more than 15 years and I've been happily married with a loving wife and an energetic son who keeps me on the run just like the markets. Well, friends, we have seen that the markets have tried their best to go up, but neither they are giving up nor they are going down. So, what seems to be happening? Yes, there seems to be some kind of balancing which we need to understand which is happening in the markets, and as the charts are clearly indicating that yes, market is trying to balance itself and it's trying to hold on to the whole support levels which we had indicated at the beginning of last week, and it is performing a nice balancing act. And this seems to be a very interesting scenario as we move along. And something to add courage to the way the overall scenario is looking. Even the nature seems to be doing a balancing act. And if you just go and take a look at the entire COVID scenario, the nature is now balancing itself as we see that the number of cases though are increasing, but they are not increasing in the same magnitude, and the rate of recovery is also improved. So what is happening is that yes, you are getting affected, but then the way the system, the people, everyone is trying to do a balancing act. And balancing act is something which is very common. It's common in nature, it's common in human beings, and the continuous act of balancing is what we see, be it the markets, be it our whole life, or be it even your trading, or be it even your bank balance. Everything needs to be done with a balancing act. So considering the state of balancing, could the NSE be far behind? And that's why NSE is also entering into a rebalancing of the bank nifty. Well, bank nifty is one of the most active index which is there in the market, right? So some of you out there have just started trading, but just to give you an idea, bank nifty was introduced way back in 2000. So 2000 was the birth of bank nifty, and since then it has moved on. First, it was only seen as an index that would carry some weightage. No, bank nifty would just be monitored for seeing some kind of impact. But soon as the trading environment became better, became more aggressive, and more participants came into the market, the bank nifty gained prominence, and that's when the bank nifty weekly options was introduced way back in May 2016. In May 2016, bank nifty weekly options got introduced, and that's what brought bank nifty into the limelight. And today everybody who is an active trader wants to trade the bank nifty. Some of you out there would definitely be an active bank nifty trader. Why? Because there is speed, there is volatility, there is volume, there is nice participation, there are a lot of strategies been designed around bank nifty. So bank nifty is very active, and on the expiry day, bank nifty, be it the monthly expiry, be it it also has got a weekly expiry. That's when weekly expiry options became very interesting, and that's how the bank nifty has got a very strong impact on the trading community. Now we are going to witness rebalancing. What is rebalancing? Rebalancing is, it's an activity which the NSE looks into the balancing of the components of the nifty. Every index has got several components, and even index like bank nifty has got various components. HDFC Bank, of course, is the highest weighted. Then you've got ICICI Bank, then you've got Kotak Bank, then you've got Axis Bank, then you've got SBI. So these are the top 5 names of the bank nifty, and it's going to be effective. The rebalancing is going to be effective from Monday, and that's when we need to see how are we going to witness some bit of action. Well, if you take a look at the charts, you take a look at the kind of rebound which we are seeing on the bank nifty, it definitely looks like bank nifty is going to be in the limelight for the current week as we head into the August expiry. So, well, friends, this was something which I wanted to share, and yes, it's definitely going to be a interesting session as we go along. So, before I get into the other details, let me just go ahead and share my screen, and let's begin our discussion with Nifty. Nifty has been trying to move along, and Nifty, if you see since July low, it's actually trying to hold on to supports. But then the kind of movement which we are seeing, it's really not encouraging. What you would like to see here is some long body bullish candles and a steady move to the upside. But what you are really seeing here is some faint move to the upside. And if I zoom in a little bit, no, just go and take a look at these current zones here, which is visible right now. What you can see is more of red body candles. There are hardly any green body candles, and there is large display. There are lots of display of uncertainty, right? When is a person uncertain? When he is not sure about which way he should be going, and that's what is happening to the market. Market is really unclear. There is no clarity at all. And you can see here the first high around 10,400. This was the first around 10,300. Then there was a further attempt slightly above it. Every time there is a blip above it, market is not able to sustain. So right now, the confusion continues to remain. Just like a confused person, market is not clear as to what really is to happen. So Nifty is not clear, but then with an event in Bank Nifty coming up, can it make the cut? Can it help Bank Nifty? Can it help actually Nifty sustain the bullish momentum and actually move higher? So if you were to dip in a little closer, you've got this trend line here, which is at, say, around 11,200 is the cutoff point for Nifty. So unless 11,200 is given away, you should not be looking at a bearish scenario in Nifty. 11,200 is the cutoff point. And now let's go down into the NeoTrader and try and find out what do we have in store for the coming week. So let's go down. And once you go down into the analysis, let's try and find out. A support always helps, a resistance always helps, prevents the price from going up. Support always helps the price to go up. Support pushes up the price, resistance pulls down the price. So now let's go here and find out whether what is the kind of support level which we need to ensure that the bank Nifty does not break. So this is the support level 11,327, and it is tying up with this pivot zone. So there is a nice pivot confluence which you can see here. So this nice pivot confluence which has emerged here is clearly a important level to watch out for. So 11,327, and on the downside, well, there is room till 11,250. Now let's see on the upside. On the upside, what are we looking at? We are looking at an immediate R1 for the intraday and the R1 out here. Let me just remove, let me just clear all these things. Let me just pick it. So there is a confluence here and there is a confluence here. So you have got 11,430 to 450 on the upside. You got 11,330 to 11,330 on the downside. So you have Nifty caught in a 100-point range. So we have to see now what Nifty really will do, and that's going to be an actionable point for the coming week. So now let's move down to Bank Nifty and see whether what does Bank Nifty have in store. This is a chart of Bank Nifty. I've been sharing the modified pitchfork, and you can see here. Let's draw it again. And you can see a balancing act. You can see how Bank Nifty continues to balance on this, on the weekly chart, on the median line. It is holding down to the median line and it is showing steady move to the upside. So now with an event tomorrow, and if the reaction by the market participants, could see some bit of movement out here. So what is happening right now? Everyone is confused. Everyone is trying to get some clues from the market, from the global sentiment, or maybe even from the respective components of that index, and try and find out how can I take a trade. Because right now, every trade is as right or is as wrong or as right. No one knows. All are taking a measured or a discretionary approach right now because the overall trends remain confused. But with an expiry coming in, there is going to be some volatility this week. There is going to be a Bank Nifty rebalancing. So if Bank Nifty triggers a move, it could definitely be a positive outcome for the entire trading community. So yes, tomorrow's and probably this week's index to be tracked could be Bank Nifty. And if I were to look at some levels on the chart basis, it could exceed 23,000. Yes, that is a potential which it has. And you can see here that the RSI is now beginning to inch higher. So we need to see what really happens and whether the market comes out of this current zombie state. Right now, market is behaving like a zombie. So we need to be very wary of where the market is headed. Now, let us also take some help from NeoTrader. Once you shift your focus to NeoTrader, let's try and find out what do we have in store. If you slip lower now, you can see that the Bank Nifty is trading above the pivot, and immediately you need to watch out for R1, which is 22,350, which is the immediate zone. And then once 22,350 is cleared, you are having R2, which is 22,430, and your R1 on multi-day for the week. There is a confluence there. So 22,435 is the immediate level, and then once it is able to move higher, then higher levels clear up. So you can see here that there are higher levels also, 561 and 773 as an intraday possibility. And at the lower level, you have got your S1 tying up with your multi-day pivot. So there is a good confluence similar in Nifty around 11,330. You have got a good confluence here around 22,050 to 22,100. So that is a support zone to watch out for on the Bank Nifty. And on the Nifty, it is 11,330 because then you have got room till 11,200. That is the next level of support. So these are the levels which you should be tracking, and I'm sure that you have got some insight on how the indices are placed. Now, before we end, let's also go ahead and take a look at the Nifty IT. Nifty IT has been playing out quite well, and if you take a look at the intraday charts, there has been sufficient failures around the 18,400 zone, and right now you can see here that even on the lower levels, there are not much indications available. That's why I decided to move into a daily chart, and daily charts are suggesting that there is a nice distribution going on and the prevalence of large red body candles. So whenever you're seeing a chart, you should always look at the red body candles. If there are more red body candles, then it is a clear signal that there is a lot of bearish pressure here. So you can see here that there has been attempt, but the steady bearish pressure at higher levels are suggesting that there is going to be some sell-off here, and the Nifty IT is clearly not interested to go up. So this is the kind of indications which you should take. It's just like if someone doesn't want to give you a certain object, then they will display it in various ways. That's what Nifty IT is doing. People are trying to buy Nifty IT or IT stocks, but then they are not going up. So you should be wary of getting into the IT stocks right now, because IT is clearly not showing any interest to go up. There are stock specific actions which you could look at, what which I'll be coming up with certain videos in this week. You could take a look at that. Till then, thank you for watching this video. It's been a great time sharing with you this market wrap. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked what I've shared, do like, subscribe, and comment on this video. And I'll be coming up with the daily updates from tomorrow. And you'll be able to see how the market has panned out, etc., and how our analysis has been playing out. Till then, thank you for watching this video. I am Raja Venkatraman, co-founder of NeoTrader, and also your trading influencer. Been in the market for more than 15 years, and been happily married with a loving wife and an energetic son who keeps me on the run, just like the markets. Okay, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.